Talking of transitions, I've covered this to a large degree in the previous video, which you haven't watched yet, is what's a company notice period when someone leaves is asked to leave. But when it comes to transitions, the things that are important, just to reiterate what I said in the last video, the person who's leaving, they should record videos for anything that's a new process. They should write up documentation for anything that they're doing in general. So there'd be training videos for anything that's new in terms of a process, plus a handover document and or voice note. So that might be a case of there's a chap called Richard, there'd be a Richard handover WhatsApp group. Richard would leave a bunch of voice notes relating to every aspect of the role, plus documentation, plus videos in that group for someone to review. And then the idea would be that let's keep Richard, that Richard can leave same day if he's done all of that. And then if Richard is available, just generally for up to, for example, a week, just to answer any simple questions where people are confused, that would be fantastic. And then the person coming in would need to review the videos, look at the documents and the voice notes, and then really try and occupy the role as quickly as possible. And then Richard is hopefully in a place where just, probably, an hour's total of work, but be available for a quick response, quick comment, a quick even phone call. It probably wouldn't get to that where there's any issues, questions, or challenges. And generally, people leave with, it's good natured, so people should be available to help. It's not always the case. Sometimes people are like, I'm going to China, and then they're gone, and then you just have to get on with it. But that's really the way that you can handle handover. It's never going to be as smooth as you want because there's different problems that come up along the way. You might discover much later in time that there's something that you don't understand, and that's probably because you haven't really reviewed the handover documentation properly, because the need for that specific thing hasn't arisen, or it's very difficult for someone to communicate in some simple voice notes as well as a document and video what they've done over the last year or 2 years, because you're not going to be comprehensive. You never really will be. It's just about getting the 20% of most valuable things that constitute, of course, 80% of the work. And that's really where most of the value goes into a transition or handover documentation, calls, as well as any level of communication. So that's what I'd recommend doing. The other thing to consider is that there will be a little bit of chaos, but it's also an opportunity for the new person to come in to improve the role that's already been done, because you want to bring in, irrespective of who leaves, you want to try and bring in higher caliber people. So if you have a load of applicants, just try and find someone who, even if they don't have the experience the person leaving does, they have a higher level of potential talent that you could have hopefully identified through the recruitment process. So there's an opportunity here for the new person coming in to outperform the person who's outgoing. So there's also that consideration when it comes to the transition process. So that makes sense, and that's what I'd say you can do to try and make the transition as smooth as possible.